Hi, boys and girls. We're still working with those shapes this week. What we're going to do is we're going to work on page 667 in your 2D shape math packet. And you are going to need your pencils. Go ahead and get crayons just to make sure you have them. And remember those pieces you used in the last lesson. You're going to need all of those pieces. I'm going to flip a little look over there. So you're going to need all those pieces that you cut out for the lesson that we did yesterday. So make sure you have all those things. Pause the video if you need to, and then we will get started. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have to think about what shapes you can put together to make some of these objects today. So I think this is kind of be some fun. So if you look, we have an animal here. We have an animal right here. We need to use shapes to make the face of this animal, to make the head of this animal. Now, I want you to look at the shape of this animal and you kind of think, I'm guessing with these pointy ears right here that we're going to make some type of cat. So let's look and see what shapes and how are we going to put those shapes together to make the face of that cat. So the outline's done for us here, so it's not quite as hard. So I'm going to fill in my outlines with the shapes. So I'm using 2 triangles for the ears. And then, boys and girls, I'm going to pick up one of my hexagons and I'm going to put my hexagon right there, right there. So you can make the shape of a cat by using 2 triangles and a hexagon. Now, what I want you to do is then go ahead and trace this piece. You can use your pieces here if you want to. Go ahead and trace those pieces. And remember, you need to be able to name all the pieces that you are using in this picture. So once you've done that, go ahead and flip the page and we're going to try to make other shapes. We're going to try to make other shapes. Now, this is not going to be as easy because you don't have all those lines that you had in the cat face. So you're going to have to think about what shapes you may need to fill in this sign right here. So you play around with them. You've got your loose pieces. Play around with them and see what shapes you may need to make that figure. Pause the video, play around with a bit, and then come back and see which ones actually work. So you can use any of these, any combination of these to make that work. And maybe you'll make it a little differently than I'll make it. Okay, boys and girls, so one way, just quickly to look at this, one way to do this is you could make the sign using 2 squares and a triangle like that. 2 squares and a triangle to make it look like that. Did anybody come up with any other way to make this? Okay, good job, boys and girls. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to take those 3 shapes that you had. Let me put them back real quick. And you are going to name and describe the shapes in the larger one, and then I want you to draw them. So you're going to draw them in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to draw them in separate pieces. So I used 2 squares, and I used a triangle, but when I put it together, I had to rotate that triangle. So now I'm going to draw it all together like this, so you can see it again. Done. And I just rotated that triangle to make that sign up there. Okay, good job. Go ahead and clear that. And we're going to do the next one. Let's see, the next one. Oh, boys and girls, what does that look like? That kind of looks like a caterpillar. So I want you to use your pattern blocks to find what shape combinations you can use to make this caterpillar. And when you do that, boys and girls, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to draw those shapes here for me that you use to finish this caterpillar. All right, boys and girls, I went for the easy one and I just took 2 of my 6-sided figures, 2 of my hexagons, and finished my caterpillar like that. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw those 2 shapes that I used. Now, if you're having trouble drawing a hexagon, look what you can do. You can take your piece, hold it down, and you can trace around the outside of your piece like this, so you can get that six-sided figure of a hexagon, just like that. So either way works. Excellent job. Remember, if I'm ever going too fast, go ahead and pause that video. All right, boys and girls, so on this one, you are going to try to make the missing shape. So you've got a lollipop over here that's circle, and then you have a lollipop over here. What shapes are you going to use to finish this one off? Look at your shapes. See if you can't put pieces together to finish this lollipop right here. And then when you do, I want you to draw the individual pieces that you use down here to make that lollipop. Okay, boys and girls, I just went the easy route, and I took 2 squares to make that rectangle shaped lollipop. So again, I'm just going to draw or trace 2 squares down here to make that rectangle shaped lollipop. Excellent work. All right, boys and girls, so you're going to do some homework on putting shapes together. It looks like we're going to make a house. I want you to work on manipulating or moving around your shapes just like you would do a puzzle to finish this homework page, turn it into mom and dad, get a big smiley face, and I will see you next time.